The Google search volume for real estate market crash skyrocketed by 284% in the United States as of September 2022. As of July 2022, searches for sell my house skyrocketed by 147% in the United States, the highest level in internet history for America, while fewer people searched for homes for sale on Google, down 35% from a year earlier. These figures are fascinating and give us a little perspective on consumer sentiment. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the HPSI, the Home Purchase Sentiment Index, to learn more about consumers and if they're feeling pessimistic or optimistic about the housing market. Well, just by looking at the graph, we can see pessimism. Housing sentiment has fallen lowest level since 2011. Only 19% of consumers believe it's a good time to buy a home, down from 22% the prior month, while 59% indicated it's a good time to sell. Surveyed consumers are also expecting that mortgage rates will increase more over the next 12 months. And for the first time since May 2020, more respondents than not expect home prices to decline. Needless to say, consumers are anticipating a housing market crash of some sort. And now that we know what consumers are thinking, let's take a look at the data to see if their thoughts are justified. We will be looking at both the dark and the bright side because remember, there are two sides to everything regardless of the conditions the markets are in. Before I do so, please take a quick moment to hit the like and subscribe button because why not? Just do it.
Do it! Just do it!
My name is Vitaly with Moskolenko Brothers, and without wasting more of your time, let's dive right into it. Let's begin with the dark news.
The skies are dark, the thunders are loud, the winds are strong, and the winter is cold. The end is near.
That's the message you've been hearing from business and finance reporters lately. Look, the economy is in the toilet, no one is arguing, but it's certainly not the end. Let's talk about some of the dark things we've been hearing about the housing market lately. The housing market has been making headlines recently, more than usual, for obvious reasons. Mortgage interest rates have reached 7%, a 20-year high, making it less affordable for consumers to buy a house. Over the past 10 months, rising mortgage rates have decreased home purchasing budgets. For a family earning the median household income of $71,000 and using 20% down payment, a typical home purchase budget stretched to $448,700 in January 2022 when the rates were close to 3%. Now the same family could only afford $343,000 home with rates almost 7%. That's over 23% decrease in purchasing power. Along with this, mortgage credit availability decreased in September, falling by 5.4% to 102.5, its lowest level in 9 years. A decline in mortgage credit availability index indicates that lending standards are tightening, while increase in the index indicates loosening credit. With the recent decrease, we learned that on top of higher mortgage rates, it's also now harder for buyers to qualify for a mortgage as lending standards are tightening. On top of all this, consumers are also faced with a record high inflation.
To the person who is about to grab their car keys and go to the ATM and take out $3,000, you say what?
You don't need to. Your ATM is safe, your banks are safe, there's enough cash in the financial system, and there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. An infinite
amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
Despite continuous attempts from the Federal Reserve to bring inflation back down to 2%, which is the primary reasons we are seeing higher mortgage rates in the first place, there's still no ease in sight of inflation. As the never-ending battle continues between the Fed and the non-transitory inflation beast, higher rates are expected going forward, which will inevitably put a strain on already frustrated buyers. To say that home buyers today are navigating extremely choppy waters would be an understatement. Now that we know some of the dark things happening in the market, let's see if there's any light at the end of this dark and long tunnel. While it may seem like all hope is lost for anyone looking to purchase a house anytime soon, believe it or not, there are still many silver linings in this market. The biggest difference between the housing market of low mortgage rates like the one in 2021 and today's housing market under higher rates is that buyers have finally reclaimed their negotiating power. This is perhaps the best news for home buyers of today, and I don't think buyers have fully realized yet that their voice now has a lot of weight on the negotiating table. In a market with low mortgage rates like the one in 2021, many buyers were competing for the same house. Often buyers had to compete against 10, 20, and as high as 30 offers. That's when sellers had all the power to name their prices and terms, pushing buyers to make aggressive offers by offering significantly above asking price and removing contingencies. In contrast, today's higher rate environment has shifted the power back into the buyer's hands as there are fewer buyers to compete with and more homes available on the market. This might not be obvious because of all the negative media attention the housing market has been getting lately, but it's true. Because of this shift in power, we're seeing more negotiating taking place between the buyers and sellers. In some cases, buyers are even asking for seller concessions, such as paying for closing costs or offering home warranty. And in other cases, we are seeing sellers accept lower prices than they would have just a few months ago. So while it may seem like the market is against you, if you're looking to purchase a house today, remember that you now have power to negotiate. In addition to this, there are still many programs available to help buyers with home buying process, such as first-time home buyers and down payment assistance programs. If you live in California, you may have heard about the Forgivable Equity Builder Loan program a lot of buyers have been taking advantage of to purchase their first home. It's a program that gives first-time home buyers a head start with immediate equity in their home via a loan of up to 10% the purchase price of the home. The loan is forgivable if the borrower continuously occupies the home as their primary residence for 5 years. We recently had a client who purchased a home for $340,000 and they received $34,000 towards closing costs and down payment. So if you are someone who is considering buying, don't give up hope just yet. Now let's take a look at the data to see how the housing market has been shifting more towards buyers. For starters, buyers today have many more options to choose from than a year ago. The inventory is up by 31% compared to a year ago. Along with this, homes now are also taking longer to sell. This means buyers have more time than last year or earlier this year to consider their options before missing out. The typical home spent 50 days on the market this September, 7 days more compared to this time last year. Additionally, the share of homes having their price reduced grew from 11% last September to 19.5% this year. All this data shows that the housing market is slowly but surely shifting towards buyers. For those of you who are still on the fence about whether now is a good time to buy or not, I would say that it all depends on your personal circumstances. If you are someone who's been waiting for the perfect time to buy with the intentions of living in the home long term, now might be a perfect time to strike a deal with sellers who are becoming more motivated than usual. That's all I have for you today, and I hope this helped you to put things in perspective. Feel free to drop some feedback in the comments or any questions you may have about the housing market, and I will see you next time.